Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programs, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So, if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. Hello and welcome to episode 80 of the Padded Cell podcast. We're fresh off the back of our Paddy's Day episode. Yep. We just changed a t-shirt and put a coat on because it's fucking freezing.
I took a jacket off, you put a jacket on.
Oh my God. So episode 80, 20 off our big 100. And what I'm going to ask y'all, if you've got any favourite bits, either favourite reels or favourite highlights of the actual episodes, email or, contact me on one of the socials and let me know what your favourite bits are because I want to put a little compilation together for our 100th.
You're doing good with the vids at the minute, aren't you?
You like me vids?
Our video wizard, yeah.
I don't know, just editing has become a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've started to do some editing for our own videos. I'm still not very good at that. But the whole marketing thing. I've had to do it for this, haven't I? So I've just got a little bit better and just been plugging away. And also, I haven't really got time to read and shit like that. But I like to be creative. And so sometimes I'm sitting there and I just need 10 minutes away from my work. Pick my phone up, do some little promo videos.
A little splurge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little creative splurge.
I do it with editing photos.
Do you?
I just go back and just edit on,
I love all that. Yeah. Anyway, so this is going out. Should have the date. I think it's the 27th. Yeah, 27th of March. And on this day in 1963, Quentin Tarantino was born. So he's 61.
I like Quentin.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. I'm being controversial.
It's just some of the films.
Some of his films are a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
For me. Violence and
Quentin
all the rest
done
of it.
Django, didn't he?
No. Did he?
Is it?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I love Django.
From Dusk Till Dawn is probably the only one. I don't even Kill Bill. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive Tarantino fan. I just his films are a little bit spoofy at times for me as well.
Yeah.
The type of films I don't like are spooky type films, or when people confide in the camera.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So you're in a film, you're immersed in a film. Escapism. That isn't Hugh Grant and whoever there. They are their characters talking to each other. You're immersed in their world, and all of a sudden they look at the camera and talk to you. And you're like that. No,
breaking
don't like
the fourth
that.
wall.
It's breaking the whole illusion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hate it. Don't like that at all. So when I see films like that, that gets switched right off. But yeah, Tarantino. You're a Tarantino fan, Cordelia?
Yeah, a little bit.
Take or leave it.
I like Pulp Fiction a lot.
Do you?
I like Pulp Fiction.
I like the dance in Pulp Fiction. That's about it.
Yeah, but I find him. I find him a bit creepy.
The guy Quentin Tarantino himself. Yeah.
And I think the way that he directs is a bit creepy as well. Like it's just very. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything slandering.
Okay.
But yeah, if he was in the news at some point later on, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I'm not going to say why. I'll leave that to you. Right, I've just got Dan here in big letters. I've got to tell you something because it came up in conversation recently. When our Dan was living in our house, he said to me, I don't know, like that shower gel that you use in the orange bottle. It makes my skin feel really, really nice. And at the time, he was about 17.
Yeah.
And I've remembered this recently because I had to buy some. Anyway, I was like, orange shower gel? Do you mean Jimmy's one? And he's got like I don't know, it's an orange one. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's definitely yours. And I'm like, it's okay. So I went upstairs, then I realised what it was that he was talking about. So when I saw him next, I was like, so that orange body wash that you've been using, that you really love? I can get you some if you want, or you can just get it yourself. I can tell you what it is.
Yeah.
And I'll pick some up because I've been using yours. So it's okay, yeah. So when you go to Tesco, if you go to the end of the shop where all the nappies are and all that,
here we go.
Nappies, baby wipes and all that, just buy that as tampons and sanitary towels. He was 17. And in that section, you'll find my orange wash. So for those who aren't watching, I'm holding an orange bottle of Femfresh Intimate Skincare for vaginas. Basically. It keeps you nice and pH neutral.
Yeah, I might start using that, yeah.
Yeah, well, you can. It's not just for fannies.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, it looks...
I do identify as a fanny.
It looks like... Speaking of which... Hello, Dylan.
What's the crack?
Dylan's just walked in.
The fucking crack.
Okay, so it's not just for fannies. It can be for knobs as well.
Okay.
But it's good. It just keeps you nice and pH neutral. But Dan was like, it's really nice. It makes your skin feel nice and soft. And I'm like, yeah, that's my fanny wash. He's like, oh my God, I've been using your fanny wash. I went, yeah, but I haven't actually been washing my fanny and then putting it back in the bottle, mate.
It's okay. With the bottle.
Yeah. It's just the thought. His 70-year-old brain just went, oh my God, I've been using my mum's wash that she washes her vagina with.
Similar thing happened to me. Mrs.
What, your vagina?
No, well, yeah. Mrs. G went away for a weekend and we got a delivery. Big fucking bag. And I looked at it. I was like, oh my God, bath bombs. I was like, fucking... I'm treating myself tonight. I'm having a fucking bath with a bath bomb. So anyway, got the kids in bed, ran the bath, threw this fucking thing in, let the bath run. Come back to it, and it was still whole. And I was like, these bath bombs are shit.
It wasn't a bath bomb.
So I started crushing it up and just like fucking running under the tap or just fucking whatever. But like, it felt soapy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The water. So I was like, whatever, come back to the bath after it was like topped up. Got in it, and I was like, and this is slimy, and it still hadn't broken up. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I texted her, and these bath bombs are fucking shit. She went, I haven't ordered any bath bombs. I said, loads of them came today. She went, they're wax melts. I was having a bath and a candle.
What made you think?
They look like fucking bath bombs and they smelt nice.
But when it didn't disintegrate, you didn't think, oh, it's wax.
I just thought they were shit.
So you must have been coated in like wax.
I was so smooth.
Like a mannequin.
It was. So yeah, never again.
Oh my God. So there you go. Fanny wash.
It proves that we just don't read, we just assume.
Yeah. Well, Daniel definitely just went, yeah, that'll wash my body, that.
Yeah.
No problem
Looks
at all.
like
It does.
would, yeah.
It does. It's just his 70-year-old head couldn't deal with the fact that it also washes fannies. So, also on this day in 1969, Mariah Carey was born.
Ooh.
55. What do you think about Mariah Carey? Bit of a diva, isn't she?
Yeah.
The trilly voice does me head in.
I hate that.
I like a singing voice that's just a singing voice. It's not chilling all over the place.
Yeah.
And like tricks and all that. It takes you away from the lyric.
The best thing she's done for music is...
All I want for Christmas is you.
Eminem wrote a diss track about her called The Warning. That's fucking boss. That's probably the best thing she's done for music, I'd say.
Okay. No, never heard of that.
I'll send you it.
Okay. So, I think she's a bit of a diva. And her voice does me head in a little bit.
Yeah.
Voice. I mean, she's got a talent. She's got an instrument there.
Yeah,
I just don't like it.
She's good.
Back in the day, back in the 90s when every motherfucker was trilling away, like budgies. Yeah. Then she fit in and she was fine. But now, it's 2025 and you don't need to trill all over the place to showcase how, wonderful your voice is. Just sing properly.
She defrosts all over Christmas, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I found some details about Mariah Carey and her diva-ishness. And I looked for facts. There's a lot of things out there that are not true about her diva-ishness. But this is basically the demands that she makes when she's on tour.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we know that she doesn't just sing the high note. She has high standards as well. And I swear to God, I was very shocked at some of the high standards that she attains. So first of all, it says here that she has a very strict beverage rule. For her vocal cords, she only drinks chilled Cristal champagne and vitamin water with a straw. And The straws must be bent at exactly 45 degrees.
Oh, fuck off, mate.
Not 44, 45. I'm sure she's got an assistant to do that. She's got assistants to do everything. And one of her assistants, their only job is to hand her a towel after she washes her hands. So she's just, too big and famous to just grab her own towel.
I hate that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, the pretentiousness is just unbelievable,
That's
isn't
it?
it?
Yeah.
So she doesn't just perform under any old light bulb.
Get her in the dungeon.
She requires a special entourage of lighting assistants to make sure she is seen in only the most flattering glow. Fluorescent lights are absolutely banned. Only soft pink lighting is allowed near her dressing room. And finally, she's admitted to sleeping with the humidifier in the room, a steam like humidifier.
Yeah.
It protects her vocal cords. It's like waking up into a rainforest, basically. She sounds like a right one here, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's other things like, she wants like so many rooms and adjoining rooms, and one room's got to be carpeted and one's got to be tiled and all that kind of thing. This is what happens when you've got more money than sense. Apparently, though, she said that she's okay with her divousness. She's like, yeah, I can be a bit of a diva. Sometimes it's proper divousness. Other times she plays into it.
Yeah.
And her mum was a big opera singer and a big diva.
Okay.
So she's learned from her mum, basically.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah, it's what.
Yeah, Mariah Carey. What do you think about Mariah Carey, Cordelia? You a fan?
Like completely neutral. I feel completely neutral in it. I like the Christmas song, but just could take.
I like the Christmas song until about like 3 days in, and you've heard it 5 million times on the radio, and then I don't like it anymore. Then
Yeah.
Every shop you go into,
every shop that you go into, I know.
Great in.
Yeah.
Right, so swiftly moving on. I am going to go on to my segment, and also it's on this day.
Okay.
So, on this day in 1915, a woman called Mary Mallon was imprisoned, and she was quarantined. Does the name Mary Mallon ring a bell?
I think so. I think I've heard the name. I couldn't tell you what she's done.
She's Irish, if that helps.
Yeah, sounds.
Mallon.
Yeah.
Do you recognise the name Mary Mallon?
Yeah, was she a cook?
Very good.
Yeah.
Go on, Cords.
I won't spoil anything.
Oh, okay. Well, you can. I'm going to say it now anyway.
You'll be on the desk next week, love.
So, Mary Mallon, better known as Typhoid Mary.
Oh.
She is an Irish immigrant, and she became infamous for unknowingly spreading typhoid fever in the early 20th century.
No way.
And basically, it's a very significant story and case because at the time, very little was known about how disease spread. But from this, they learned a lot from Typhoid Mary. And quite a lot of things changed at the time. So she was born in 1869 Ireland, and she emigrated to New York in the 1880s. And as Cordelia quite rightly said, she found work as a cook for wealthy families. She's actually really good at it. I think back in Ireland is what she did over there. So she just brought those skills over, and she soon found work all over the place. So she was very well paid for what she did. And she was very healthy in herself. She didn't show any signs whatsoever of being ill. But she unknowingly was carrying typhoid fever, which is actually Salmonella typhi, which is the full name of it. So what is that? It causes high fever, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and in some cases death. Jeez. Back in the day more so because treatment wasn't readily available. It's treated with antibiotics, which weren't available then. So basically it was down to whether you were already healthy at that time or whether you were compromised with something else. If you were compromised, the likelihood is that typhoid would have took you, I think. And it's spread through contaminated food and water, mainly down to poor hygiene. And carriers are normally almost completely asymptomatic. So they don't show any symptoms whatsoever. They've got nothing, no inclination.
They just spread it.
Yeah. And like I say, before antibiotics, it was deadly, and it spread in cities like New York, big cities, very, very, very quickly. So Typhoid Mary was known as the Deadly Cook. Why? Because between 1900 and 1907, she worked as a private cook for wealthy families, like I said before. And while she was there with all these families, typhoid outbreaks would follow wherever she went. There was one particular household, if I remember rightly, very posh. And out of 11 people, 9 got ill, I think it was. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Out of all the people that contracted typhoid from Mary, they know of 2 that definitely died. But there may be more. There may be more people that have died that we just don't know about. Okay, so she'd leave one employer. That family would get better or not. Yeah. She'd move on to another family, and then bit by bit, they'd get ill. Excuse me.
Sorry, God. Do we sneeze at the same time then?
It says here that at least 7 families experienced severe outbreaks as a direct result of typhoid Mary. And at the time, people just didn't believe that a healthy-looking person could spread disease. And there was some people thinking, was she doing it on purpose in some way? Obviously didn't know she had typhoid. But like, well, there's too much of a pattern everywhere she goes. People are either dying or they're getting really ill.
She's probably moving on thinking, shit, these people are sick. I'm going to have to go before I get sick.
Exactly. So what happened and how did they figure this out? So there's a sanitation engineer. So he's probably like a public health person now. George Soper, and he was investigating this typhoid outbreak in Long Island at the time. And he quickly found the pattern that pretty much everybody in the households where Mary was working, including fellow servants, got sick, except for Mary. So he was basically tracing these outbreaks. Then because Mary was moving around, he had to trace Mary through these outbreaks and eventually found her in this really, really wealthy household. He confronted her and said that we think that you're spreading disease. Yeah. And she's like, no, I would never do that. He went, maybe not on purpose, but you're definitely spreading something. Anyway, she would not have it. She's like, no, I am not ill. I can't be spreading anything and I wouldn't do it purposely. There was some suspicions at one point. I'll talk about that in a bit. But she was like, no, I don't believe it. She felt too well. Anyway, he said that she needed to stop working as a cook immediately because she was that much of a public health threat. I'd said that she chased him out of her kitchen with a carving fork.
Go ahead, girl.
Yeah. Anyway, this Soper guy alerted the New York Health Department and Mary was arrested and taken by force to the North Brother Island, a quarantine facility just off the coast of the Bronx. She was quarantined. Now, at this time, the doctors did take stool samples and they did find salmonella in the stool. Okay. So she wasn't ill, but she was carrying salmonella or typhoid.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah. In quite high amounts.
Yeah.
And this was basically all they needed to keep her there. So she was held in quarantine for 3 years and she became like a public health experiment, really.
Yeah, yeah.
And what we do know is that the likelihood is the reason why she was spreading this wasn't just because she was a carrier. She wasn't washing her hands. Dirty minger. Because it comes from your stool. So she was going to the toilet, wiping her arse, and then going and making the dinner for the posh people without washing her hands. Yeah. Anyway, Mary never ever believed she was a carrier, even though she kept getting told, and she continued to be treated pretty unfairly in her mind. Yeah. But in 1910, so 3 years later, she was released under one condition, that she'd never work as a cook again. She promised that she'd never do it, but she lied. And she basically went straight back into the kitchen. And she, once again, spread typhoid right across the city.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, she was struggling financially. What?
She's just a fucking menace.
She didn't care. She's struggling financially. She said, she's like, well, I've got to make money somehow.
Absolute menace.
She tried to work as a laundress, but the money wasn't good enough. So she just went back into the kitchen and she used fake names to move between jobs. So for me, this is now malicious because even though she's skint, she knows that she's spreading disease. Yeah. Or even if she doesn't believe it, the public health guys do and are chasing her down. And so because of that, she's using fake names to avoid being found out. So she knows she's up, there's something going on, and she's, getting around it. Anyway, in 1915, she was working in a maternity hospital kitchen.
Oh, no.
And it led to a massive typhoid outbreak. It was called the Sloan Maternity Hospital. And at least 25 people became infected, but they think more. And 2 died.
Fuck.
Authorities finally caught up with her at the hospital because there's such a big outbreak there. And this time they didn't have any intention of letting her go whatsoever. So they sent her back to North Brother Island permanently. And she spent 23 years in isolation, living in a small cottage on the island. I've read the book, actually. The cottage sounds lovely. Yeah. And maybe for a month, without internet.
A nice little
and
break.
all that.
Yeah.
But after that, she was going stir crazy. And she could see the mainland from where she was. She could see normal life going on.
Just ticking on without her.
And where she was, she was with other people who might have been mentally and physically not very well.
Yeah.
And so... her company wasn't exactly scintillating. Let's put it that way.
Shitty fingers.
Yeah. So all the time that she was alive, she lived till the age of 69. She never, ever admitted to any wrongdoing or admitted to knowing she was spreading this around.
Yeah.
She just said I just needed to work.
Yeah.
So even though she was told directly, don't work as a cook, she did anyway because she was skinned. To me, that's irresponsible. But at the time, if you think there was no state welfare and stuff like that, I suppose it's like, well, you work or you die, don't you, yourself?
Yeah, you do.
So in 1938, when she died at the age of 69, an autopsy that was carried out confirmed that her gallbladder was absolutely jam-packed with typhoid, but her body was showing no other signs of being racked with the disease at all. It was just her gallbladder was full of it.
Yeah.
Full of it. So when obviously her body was going through the waste process, her poo must have been full of it. So no wonder. So she is what you'd call now a super spreader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we do have super spreaders now of different diseases. Yeah. Some people don't know they're a super spreader. There's people that carry COVID and don't actually get it themselves.
What about kids does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite common, I think, really. Yeah. So there's a little bit of controversy, was she deliberately killing people? No, I don't actually think she was. I think she was maybe a little ignorant. I don't think she had the education to fully understand, and also limited by the education at the time, what we knew. I think she was just ignorant to how dangerous she really was.
Well, I'm not sick, so I can't be sick.
Exactly. Yeah. If I'm not sick, I don't understand how I'm making other people so sick.
Yeah.
And germ theory was really relatively new, so she wouldn't really have understood that.
Yeah.
And she believed that she was being wrongfully blamed all of her life. She never, ever accepted that she should have been on this island isolated. Yeah. And for those that think that she was knowingly spreading typhoid, it's never been proven. But there's definitely some irresponsibility there. If not maliciousness, there's definitely irresponsibility because she knew that people were getting sick somehow, but she still continued doing what she was doing. So it's just like reckless denial.
Yeah.
Really, wasn't it? Yeah. So what have you learned from Typhoid Mary? Well, what we learned is that asymptomatic carriers actually do exist. Before then, it was hearsay. They weren't too sure. They knew that disease was spreading, but they didn't really know exactly how in some cases. And from this, they realised that healthy people could carry disease.
Yeah.
And obviously that hand washing and personal hygiene are critical, especially when you're working in those sorts of conditions in kitchens and stuff like that. And I think I'd say don't go chasing the public health guy out with a bloody fork. Otherwise you're going to get sent to North Island. But she sounds like a bit of a badass bitch, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. Take a no for an answer.
But the book about Typhoid Mary is actually really good. It's sad because she hasn't done anything wrong whatsoever. She's just carrying this disease and she's imprisoned all of her life for it because at that time, they just weren't clever enough to treat her.
Yeah.
So there you go. Typhoid Mary. Before we move on to your little segment, a quick hello to all of our Patreons and a special hello to all of our new Patreons. And a cheeky nipple tweak to all of our OGs. Consensual, of course. What have you got for us, kid?
Right, our main correspondent, the Wizard of Odd, he sends me a lot of videos now that he's got my number. And he sent me one, which interests me. the top 3 longest sniper kills.
Oh, right up your street.
I bet it is.
Okay.
So number 3 on the list is actually number 5. I was digging and doing a lot of research, but like he sent me the video, started on the path. But I wanted to keep it on trend with the padded cell, so I've converted all the distances into. I went onto another website, Discover Magazine, and they conducted a survey to find out the UK's average size dildo.
Okay.
And it's 6.8 inches.
Okay. So average dick size. Ish.
Yeah. So, number 5, we got a British boy, Craig Harrison, his name is.
Yeah.
And he held the record from 2009 to 2017.
Oh, wow, a long record then.
Yeah. I remember watching his interview fucking years ago now. And he actually hit 2 targets at that range. He was posted up somewhere, and there was 2 Afghan militia on machine guns, just fucking. And it took him and a spotter 9 shots just to range the 2 guys.
Wow.
And then on 10 and 11, bang, bang.
Wow.
Both of them gone.
Some doing it.
Fucking some range, yeah. 2,475 metres.
Crazy that, isn't it?
It's hard to fathom because I always used to run 100 metres in school in athletics, and like when you stand at 100 metres, there's 24 versions of that, or 14,329 dildos.
For those amongst us who measure in dildo.
Using the dildo metric.
But it helps. It helps to visualise it.
It does.
You know?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, there's fucking 14. I'd like going to stretch.
I was actually going to bring in my giant strap on, but it was just too heavy for my bag.
Yeah.
Have you seen my giant strap on?
No.
It's about that big and it's about that
Fucking
thick.
hell.
The bell end on it is huge.
I think I've seen similar of like FetLife and stuff
Yeah,
like
and it's
that.
got a really heavy leather harness, like dead thick. It's that heavy. I put it in the bag and I'm like, fuck, it's one dildo too many. Take that out.
And there'll probably only be about 7 of them at the range.
Yeah.
But no, he hit the 2 fellas. The kills got confirmed by the Afghan National Police later that day, and then the range got confirmed by an Apache helicopter.
Wow.
Like, you know, an Apache went over to do a sweep and was like, well, he was there. That's where the National Police are.
I mean, to have the sight, to see that far,
Fucking, yeah.
that's nuts.
Yeah. Well, he said that the conditions were brilliant for long shooting. There was no wind, sight lines were clear, there was no dust. He thought, fuck it, I'm just sending it.
But also the sort of gun that you've got to have to be able to maintain the accuracy for that distance, it must be fine at some velocity.
Yeah.
Mustn't it?
Fucking hell, yeah. But yeah, 9 shots to range it.
Wow.
They use like a bracketing system.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, bang, right, that it there. So we need to go up a bit, right a bit, bang. Right, no,
I
actually.
saw that on The Jackal, Day of the Jackal. Have you seen that yet on Netflix?
I haven't, no.
Oh, mate, it's
keep
right
meaning
up
to
your
watch it,
street.
yeah.
You've got to watch
I
it.
keep meaning to watch it. That's going to be next after adolescence.
Really good.
So Craig Harrison's pretty much the only guy I could get like a name and a story for. The rest of them are just sort of like, nah, we're keeping them hush hush.
Yeah.
Number 4 was in November 2022, Ukraine National Guard. Name's been kept a secret, but he was 2,710 metres. Number 3 was from the Australian Defence Force.
G'day.
So all
Shooting
our Aussie
kangaroos.
fans, yeah. 2012 in Afghan, unnamed, but he was part of the 2nd Commando Regiment. 2,815 metres,
Jesus.
or 16,297 dildos.
Name's probably Shane.
Well, see, I was looking on YouTube and there was a guy in the comment section saying like, "Oh, his name's such and such. I worked with him," and I was like, I didn't want to take that as gospel. Do
Just
you know
in
what I mean?
case, just because Google said.
3 different websites said his name hasn't been released for certain reasons.
Yeah.
But he held the record for 5 years before the next guy came in, a Canadian, and took the lead. Again, unnamed, Special Forces, 3,540 metres.
Is that even possible?
I don't even think I can fucking see that far.
Well, I definitely can't. I can't even see the telly over there.
No, it's nearly 2 miles. It's over 2 miles.
How do you create a rifle to shoot that far?
He was using a Barrett, which is, well, they're all fucking powerful, like, but apparently that's...
I mean, like I say, it's got to have some force behind it to maintain that accuracy for that distance.
There's videos on the internet of people trying to shoot a Barrett standing up, and it's got that much fucking kick on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how true this is, but I was reading somewhere about the Barrett sniper rifle, and the Americans made it so that it's so fucking loud you can't determine where it's coming from.
Really?
It just booms.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is, but yeah, number 2, he was a member of JFT2, Joint Task Force 2, for the Canadians, and he was in Iraq when the fighting with ISIS was going on. He was providing overwatch at the Battle of Mosul.
Okay.
And his name hasn't been leaked, but in 2023, Dallas Alexander, a former member of the unit and the sniper team who took the famous shot, released a video of the kill to the media. So there's a video out there.
Okay.
Probably on everyone's WhatsApp.
So how far was that?
That was 3,540 metres.
God, that's nuts.
That's fucking mental, innit?
How long's that in miles?
It's just over 2 miles.
Fucking hell. I mean, that 2 miles, that'd take me 12 minutes or
2
so
miles
to run.
2 miles probably to the Whittle from here.
Yeah.
In a straight line.
How'd you shoot that far with that amount of accuracy?
It's like getting on the roof here and shooting someone at Camel Head.
That's crazy. Isn't it?
It's nuts.
I just don't know how they've made something to be that accurate and that powerful. It's crazy.
How would you even pinpoint that? You're just standing there with your mate and then next thing, bang.
Yeah. Where's that come from? Out of nowhere. I mean, I can see why these guys aren't getting named, because they're weapons to protect.
Yeah.
If you've got that human weapon under your belt
Yeah.
in Russia or Ukraine or whatever, you're not going to release that name, are you? Because they'll come on and pop him.
No, it was like that guy I spoke about last time, the White Death.
Yeah.
He was feared by the Russians, and you would be.
Yeah. You'd hunt him down, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
To get rid of him.
It's like, what's his name, Vasily and Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's right, yeah. It says good, that isn't it? Thank you.
And the far buzzer, just in time for number 1, goes to a 58-year-old Ukrainian sniper by the name of Vyacheslav Kovalsky.
Very good.
Yeah. November 2023, 3,800 metres or 22,000 dildos on the dot.
22,000 dildos.
Yeah. Vyacheslav.
It's like our club after Saturday night, that all the ones left behind. The other people I call us claiming they lost dildos.
Oh, just get a new one.
Well, they've got no shame.
Yeah.
And some of the guys.
Yeah.
I've left my dildo. Yeah. My ass dildo.
Just get a new one.
I'd just be too embarrassed.
I would.
Like the players that left the teeth that time, they were too embarrassed to call up for them. It's like, nobody's called for the teeth, they're just too embarrassed.
Yeah, just root through that bin bag of dicks there and just let us know which one's yours.
3,800. That is just nuts.
That's fucking crazy.
I just can't fathom a gun that can
That's
do
about
that.
2.5 miles, I think.
Fucking hell, that's crazy.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
But it says he was not a typical soldier. 58-year-old, previously built a career as a businessman before the war erupted in early 2022. And he sat for hours in freezing temperatures before he eventually took the shot that eliminated a Russian officer.
So he wasn't previously military trained. He's just got a gift.
I think he was. There wasn't much said on him, to be fair. I think he was. He left. He became a businessman.
And then the war kicked off
and
went
everyone
back.
just picked up arms, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh wow.
So yeah, fucking nearly 4,000 fucking kilometres. At 4 kilometres.
I just can't fathom it. I just can't fathom that at all.
You can't, can you? There's nothing you can you can put it in to be like, oh yeah, I get that. So loads of people are like, oh, it was 45 football stadiums. Like, what the fuck do you see 45 football stadiums in a line?
But dildos, I can picture dildos. That's no problem at all. Picture dildos. 22,000 dildos, no problem at all. It's a lot.
Yeah, that is about 22,000 dildos, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a long way.
With a stiff breeze.
Bloody Brilliant.
So yeah, that's
I
the
enjoyed
top
that.
5. It was going to be top 3, but I couldn't leave our boy off.
No, you couldn't leave the British guy off, could you?
No, I figured out there was someone in between him and who we had at number 2, and I was like, oh shit, right, I'll have to do top 4. And then I found someone else. I was like,
Damn.
I'll have to do top 5.
Vic, best not whisk it on today. I've got 5 to do.
I know. And I kept going back. Fuck, I'll have to do top 17.
Right, Cordelia. Have I got 2 minutes to do a quick fetish factoid? Not really.
If it's a
really quick one.
really, really, really quick
Only
one.
because it ties in.
Thumb it in. Go on.
Do you know what autossassinophilia is? Autossassinophilia. Autossassinophilia.
I just heard assassin.
Yeah. So basically, it's a fetish or a desire to plan and go through with your own death.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I was like, really? That can't really be a thing.
People get turned on by that.
Yeah. And just before we go, there's a very quick case, I'm not going to talk about it all, of a lady called Shannon Lopatka, who met a guy online, and her deepest fantasy was for him to take her life during sexual intercourse, and she wants to find somebody that would get off on it while she died. And they had lots and lots of conversations. This is in the mid-90s. And the conversations basically led to them meeting up. She was married. She left a note for her husband.
Wow.
If you find this, I'm no longer here, but I'm happy. Don't worry about it. And basically, she met this guy, and they were into BDSM, got up to all sorts of stuff, and he used ligatures and choked her. Didn't mean to choke her. It was an accident.
Oh, fuck.
The autopsy actually later confirmed that it was an accident.
Yeah.
It wasn't done on purpose. He was devastated afterwards, went to prison for
I bet,
manslaughter. Yeah. But this whole thing was very, very well meticulously planned with 900 pages of emails, messages, talking about this shared interest and extreme fantasy in torture and death.
Jesus.
So he did go down for it. But from all intents and purposes, from everything that I can read, I know I can't read all of this, but she was fully complicit. She was fully in agreement. Jeez. And all of the messages, every single one of them confirmed that she was, yes, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And he went down, he pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
He only received a sentence of 36, he went down for 53 months.
Yeah.
Which is not long at all, is it?
No, not killing someone.
But he never got out. He died of a heart attack in hospital.
Fuck. All right.
So, autossassinophilia, it's not something that I would be into, but there's some people out there where the fantasies literally are lethal.
Just quickly as well. I've seen a lot of stuff on FetLife and Insta and fucking Reels and stuff like that. Can we do a dangly bit one day on how to choke someone safely?
I think it might have to be a Patreon rather than a Patreon, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think a dangly bit would be a little bit,
there's so much
a bit too severe.
misinformation
Really.
out there, and you just, you know what I mean?
You hear the word choke, you just go, don't you? It's a lot more to it. So. Yeah. Good stuff. Right, we need to go. Cordelia's going to give me a side eye. So, if you've been watching, put the kettle on. We'll see you at 5. If not, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Lots of love.
And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the Curators of Chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing the Love the Patacel podcast with your friends. Don't forget to give us a follow on our socials, maybe some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@thepattacelpodcast.co.uk, or even interact with us on Facey, Insta, and our other socials, because we love chatting to you. Make sure you stop by next week because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.